And for sure, we have our proprietary, let's call it power and energy capacity flexibility model that we are going to install next to distribution transformers. And it plays a key role for electric distribution utilities by flattening peak consumption, because a conventional way of grid modernization is to cover peak consumption, but we develop it an alternative way by flattening it.
Hello, Constantine. Thank you so much for your time coming over here and talking to us.
Yeah, thank you very much for inviting me.
I've been looking into companies that are really working on the grid stress management that is going on, the bigger challenge in the industry. And what I saw was Vision Energy is actually coming up with this by using a front of meter product. And you've also coupled it up with cloud service. So I'm going to put you in the center stage and ask you, if you could just tell us a little about the technology that you have developed.
Well, first of all, I want to clarify why we do that, because as we can see that many electric utilities in the US struggling to keep us with our modern needs for electricity because of electrification, heat pumps, charging stations for our electric vehicles, and let's not forget that there are a lot of regulatory pressure for electric utilities in the US from government side, and traditional grid modernization requires massive capital investments, and it's quite slow and often takes 3 to 10 years for meeting supply chain constraints and construction bottlenecks. And it's the 2 trillion backdrop of the field operates, transformer overloaded, rising outages risks, and it's quite serious problem for many smaller electric utilities in the US, like municipal utilities or cooperatives. And at Visionary Energy, we develop our solutions specifically for electric distribution utilities that distribute energy from transmission lines to our houses, offices, and commercial buildings. And the core, our solution has key elements. It's hardware. We build hardware because we have such a great background working with different companies, building hardware products for them, like battery storage, smart metering systems, etc. And for sure, we have our proprietary, let's call it power and energy capacity flexibility model that we are going to install next to distribution transformers. And it plays a key role for electric distribution utilities by flattening peak consumption, because conventional way of grid modernization is to cover peak consumption, but we develop it an alternative way by threatening it. And the second part of our solution is a virtual control room to orchestrate these decentralized units. All these 2 elements play together and allow utilities to bypass multiple year capital projects instead of deploy targeted flexibility exactly where the grid is stressed. And yeah, we currently engaged in 2 projects with New Mexico State University and Thomas University. They have a really great test beds for micro solutions, and I hope we will start one on next year. What else, guys? Yeah.
So how easy is it to install it? How much time does it take? And I would say more than that, what are the prerequisites that one needs to have so that your system gets plugged in?
Well, it's the same process as usually utilities install distribution transformers. So it takes maybe a day, maybe even less. We install it in series between the load and the grid. We connect it to distributed energy resources like local generation, for example, rooftop PVs or charging station. Yep. So it's quite mostly for integration, and it's designed specifically for seamless integration and to reduce the time when a customer doesn't have power.
Okay, that's great. And I was thinking about it since it's like a decentralized system. And what if, like, let's say there are many nodes out there. If I think about a farm, so, okay, let me just backtrack. So, how many units do you think a farm would generally require?
Well, it depends on the feeder. Depends on feeder because it can be just 1 mile long. Many feeders have longer distance to deliver energy. But as we sit at its next to distribution transformer, so it power like 3-5 houses. It will be enough to cover their energy consumption during the day.
Okay.
So it depends on feeder type.
Right, I understand. And then I was going through your website and you mentioned that your technology is pretty sturdy and you've tested it under various temperature and climate as well. What if, like, how do you maintain if one of the units is not working well? Is there a system that you've devised that you'll get to know about it? Is there any predictive maintenance that is in play that lets you know that, okay, this portion is not working well and gives you an alert way before?
Yeah, first of all, we have different layers of self-defense. If something goes wrong within one unit, it just notifies us and the client, I mean the utility company, and it detaches from the other units, so there is no need to worry about safety. Everything will be okay, and the user energy consumer will be powered up. And from another side, we have many built-in sensors. So we collect over 60 parameter data that we collect and transmit to our cloud platform. And for sure, we have, let's say we will have, because currently it's under development stage, we will have predictive maintenance features, and also it combines with digital twin model because we collect data from battery side, preforming inverter, voltage, frequency, all this data we collect, and we can create sort of digital model based on this and compare it constantly with real-time operational needs.
Okay, so have you tested it out somewhere since you said that it's in the development stage?
Yeah. Yeah, we designed and assembled our proprietary energy node unit. Now we currently develop our cloud platform to dispatch these units, and those microgrid projects that I mentioned before with New Mexico State University and San Thomas University. We do it for demonstrating that our technology works for utilities, for the industry.
Okay. I mean, I imagine that when you were developing it and still, if, till date, there must be many challenges that you must have faced, either in terms of the product itself or the integration with cloud. So what were the challenges that were like major, which you feel that, let's say, if there was any other company also working on this, is facing, and then you were able to solve it? Like, how were you able to do that?
Well, first of all, hardware is hard because you need to design, assemble, test, get certification, then you should start production cycle, and it requires a lot of time, resources, and capital investments. And we started it about 2 years ago, just two of us. My partner, Alex, he's brilliant engineer, and I, we started it together. Yes, we worked for many companies that did hardware stuff, but we started just two of us. Now we are five because we need engineers, programmers, and other brilliant guys. Sorry, what was the question?
I was saying that I wanted to know, like, when you were developing it, I'm sure that you came across a lot of challenges, whether it was on the technology, the hardware side, or even the software, because you've combined the two together over here. So the challenges that you faced and how were you able to solve them? So, because I'm sure that there are other companies also who are trying to solve the same issue, but here you are, you're able to solve it and you're going to roll it out in the near future. So something that you were able to solve, which others are still struggling in.
Well, first of all, electric utilities are quite conservative companies because they operate strategic infrastructure. They want to. I would say that electric industry is not a good place for any kind of startup because you can just sell it via presentation. You need to build a product to show them that it's proved that it works somewhere. So it's quite challenging to sell to electric utilities. That's the main challenge. But I hope we found the right path to our first client. Step 0 is development. Then we go to New Mexico State University, implement our solution to their microgrid test bed, test it, engage, let's say, El Paso Electric, whose project, and show them that it works. And I hope after that project, they will become our first client.
All right. So that's interesting as well because you talked about the regulations and you talked about the developing the hardware as well. And I'm good. I just want to know that when you're talking about the battery that you've just built, I think, correct me if I'm wrong, it's made of lithium ion. And when we talk about the sustainability angle of it, how have you seen it? Like the regulations also come into play, the battery that you're using, the disposing of the battery. Have you thought of like a plan? Is there a plan in action where you know like how this is going to the end of cycle of your product? Is there something on those lines?
Well, first of all, the government in the US incentivize electric utilities to use solutions to achieve zero grid goals by 2050, and that's a good news. Also, many states government allocate budgets for grants to test new solutions with local utilities, and it's quite good as well. From another side, as I mentioned, we should have certification like UL certification to implement our solution in real world distribution grids. But it's more technical challenge rather than regulatory.
Okay. And Constantine, like what would be your go-to-market strategy in the future? I know that you are aiming for the electricity departments, but are you more lean towards the residential areas, or do you think that your technology would serve better when it comes to like large area of land?
First of all, it's good for us. The electricity market is quite good regulated. We know that our first clients will be smaller utilities like co-ops or municipal utilities. Because we struggle the most with managing big consumption. Then investor-owned utilities that serve the huge amount of people in the US, our second step clients. And probably someday we will cover their needs because it's huge market. And there are over 3,000 electric utilities only in the US. Maybe someday we will go to Europe, to Australia, and maybe in India.
Yes, I think you have a good market over here.
Definitely.
Yes. So with that, I'll ask you, are there any metrics? Are there any, like you said, that you demonstrated your technology in front of the institutes and other organizational bodies? So is there any parameter that we have that you can state that, you know, this is the amount of energy consumption or optimization that you've been able to achieve, which could be like a benchmark against what is traditionally out there?
Well, to be honest, we have a list with 85 kind of tests we're going to evaluate during the project with an MSU and St. Thomas University. But for electric utilities, I guess the main goals is to increase energy supply reliability with less costs. And this is our main goal.
Okay, thank you for that. And one last question. As the founder, I'm sure that you said that you've been working on this for 2 years, and every day would be a different day for you. I'm sure that now that you look back and you think about when it started and where you are today. So, what is that like one motto or one mantra that you have that has helped you push through tough times as well?
Could you rephrase the question?
Yes. And so, what I'm trying to ask is that when you started off and where you are today, I'm sure that every day would be full of hurdles. Some days must be like, okay, fine, you feel like you've achieved what you'd set out for. But as a founder, because you're like holding the fort together, um, like what is your motto? What is your driving mantra? Like what is it that you feel that okay, which helps you push through your tough days or your tough nights?
There is no simple answer, because some days it looks meaningless because it's quite difficult to manage all this stuff from development side to sales. The sales is the most important, but the most difficult because you don't know how to act with different people within the industry. Some days you just have to say that things should be done, and yeah, there is no simple answer for this question.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your time.